All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are we? How we doing? How we feeling? Everybody good? I'm just going to go open a window. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. I let the air in. Woo! Blackout with the first subscription of the day. 38 months on Twitch. Goddamn. 3 years of peak content. I'm going to be in class for a couple hours, but I'll be chilling in here till it's over. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Hope class is going well. Nacho Genocide in the building. Lonely Fades. I see you over there. Generic. What's up? What's up? Oni. Destinate, how you guys doing today? Welcome in. La Coca. Coca with the 65 months. Thank you guys so much. God damn. 65 months is crazy. Listen, we got a pretty good show today. We're going to be talking about some massive AoC bombshells, ashes of creation, obviously. I apologize for the lack of streams last week. I was dealing with a pretty massive like head cold and throat cold. My throat still hasn't like fully recovered, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work this week. So yeah, we got a few topics I want to talk about today. And then I want to jump into a game demo of Wraith Ops. It's an FPS that I've covered in the past. We're going to take a look at that as well. And then I got to hop off the stream today, record the podcast for this week. If you guys are Patreon supporters, you're going to get access to that on Wednesday. And yeah, Stroop Waffle in the building. What's up, dude? How are you? Baba Ganoush, Zombie Killer. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Good to see you. Do we get into it? Let me just adjust these screens and then we're gonna hop in. Let me get this up here. Chat. Can I don't want to do that. Can I move my chat over on this side? And then move the activity feed over here. And that way I just have both my chats sitting right next to each other. Oh yeah, look at us. Look at us, we're smart. Flow Schmeat box. You guys, I'm excited. We're gonna be running Dead Mines this week. Very pumped. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. What's going on? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Damn, Wag's coming through 10 months on Twitch. Jesus, brother, it does not feel like it's been 10 months. Random Mishaps, 88 months in the building. God damn. How y'all doing today? Last time I played Wraith Ops, it had a big identity crisis. Yeah, I want to talk about it. I want to do the playtest today because the last time I played it, brutal. I'm not gonna be able to catch up. I'm only level 13. I mean, it's no rush, Flo. It's no rush. We're gonna be doing Dead Mines this week. I'm excited. Flo Gert in the building. Mr. Rain, what's going on? Jay Boogs, how are you guys doing today? Welcome in. Good to see ya. Let's take the music down just a little bit more. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Great to see ya. I hate Twitch. What's up? Soapy Enigma. I gotta zoom this chat in a little bit. Wraith Ops is back in playtest already. Yeah, I'm confused because they just had one, right? Yeah, Wraith Ops is interesting. Wraith Ops is definitely interesting. We're gonna take a look at it. I'm about to hit 30 on my rogue. I can help with Dead Mines. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. Wags is about to be 29. I'm about to be 22. I think Arctic's 21. Red is, or Blackout's, I think 20, something like that. By the way, Blackout resubscribing for 38 months. Coca, Wags, Random, welcome in. You mean 32? Wait, what? Well, we're talking about WoW levels, not age. All right. So okay, I don't know. It's been a few days since I've been live. So I want to get caught up. I don't know if you guys have heard the latest Ashes of Creation news, but holy shit. Let me pull this link up here. So this video dropped 2 days ago. This is a video from a YouTuber named Nephis QS. All right. So the situation, is this going to pause? Is my stream deck not working today? Love that for me. So this is an 1.5-hour video. So it turns out that Steven Sharif, CEO, head honch at Intrepid, for years now has come out and said that he's put his own money into the game, right? He's funding it. He's bankrolling it. There's no board. There's no nothing, right? It's all him. He has nobody to answer to. I'm going to pull up this clip here. This was from last year. This is Steven Sharif being recorded in regards to some YouTuber drama that was going on at the time. Let's watch this, and then we're going to jump into what that video is, because I think the timeline is insane.
If you put these points into context, look, I don't know what's going on with Narc. I don't know, why he's come to these conclusions that he has. I have assumptions. My assumptions are it's because, this is the reason of him wanting to farm views and engagement or whatever, and then maybe he'll do a redemption arc later, and that's like his master plan. I have a lot of different commentaries, but it is what it is. I don't really care. Only thing I care about is that when someone makes false and defamatory statements and it gets 100,000 plus views, and then it gets 500,000 plus views, and it demeans the character of myself or the 230 plus families that I care that are putting their hearts and souls into this game, of which I put over $55 million of my own money into the development of this game. There has never been a dime or profit that's been taken from this company in 8 years. When someone says that, it is utter, and pardon my French here, but
it's going to piss you off.
It's complete fucking bullshit.
The arrogance of Steven Sharif to say that. The 230 plus families. One Peg has a really good summary of what's going on. Let's zoom in. Shout out to One Peg. So let's get straight to it. Ashes of Creation's former CEO bankrupted the company on purpose after 10 years, having not put a single dollar into his company. Ashes of Creation was spending $2.5 million per month in burn in 2025, and $1 million per year was salaries to himself and his husband throughout the duration of the project. But he wasn't keeping up with his mortgage on his home and was at risk of having the bank foreclose on his house. In almost losing his house, Steven begged his two primary investors for money to secure a loan that he couldn't pay and put $1.3 million into an escrow account for his home loan. When AoC's track record of insolvency wasn't improving, the primary investor of Intrepid, $80 million worth, which is what this video is about, said he was taking over and tried to make Steven the creative director with an earn-out plan. They were to lay off 50 to 70% of the staff, but save the game and the business. Steven refused. When negotiations failed, Steven notified the bank holding his home loan of the incoming Steam funds from the EA launch and instructed them to write a letter to Valve claiming the $3.7 million in sales money. So that's interesting, and that's new news, because now we know that they made $3.7 million on Steam for the launch of Ashes of Creation. When he reached out to the bank, it did three things. It technically fulfilled the obligation of the launch, securing the funds, released that $1.3 million from escrow of personal money that the bank was holding to secure his home loan. That money was intended to pay payroll on February 1st. When the money vaporized due to the bank's claim, they had no choice but to close the business. The arrogance of this guy to sit there and fucking say that he put $55 million of his own money in the arrogance to put the families of the employees. Oh, all these people are depending on me, but then you just left with the money to save your house. This video, and I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna put it in both chats. This is insane. I watched this whole thing. There's an investor in Ashes of Creation in Intrepid that goes by the name of Jason. I can't pronounce his last name. Jason. Does it have it in the? Hold on.
Over $105 million of debt. The total amount of investments I'm seeing in these private documents so far is a staggering amount of over $105 million, none of which seems to have come from Stephen Sharif.
So this investor has text messages going back to 2015 where Stephen is asking him for money. It goes into Stephen talking about how much money they're going to be making from selling packages on the website and opening up the Kickstarter, and it's insane. And this guy has fucking everything. There's hold on here. He has the contracts. He has literal text messages going 2014. Yeah, there was conversations. Yeah, do you guys remember Ashes of Creation Apocalypse, which was like a battle royale that Steven came out and said they were just using to test the combat of the game? Total bullshit. They were banking on Fortnite and that popularity, and so they pivoted and made a battle royale to try to get more money. They were, if Ashes of Creation is, if that battle royale blew up and became popular, I guarantee you, we wouldn't have an MMO. I mean, we don't anyway, but I guarantee you they would have pivoted.
Which Jason and Steven very briefly talked about the idea. Preferred Jason not sell his convertible note to Tencent and starts juicing up the business concept of Ashes of Creation.
Yeah, it's so
remarking
crazy
that around 2 million players will participate in the launch of Ashes of Creation.
We will be launching Ashes of Creation with around 2 million players. We have over 500K right now. That's around 40 million a month in subscriptions, and that is just Ashes of Creation. The other titles will be huge also. This is a new dynasty company, which is why Tencent and Mail RU are coming at us hard right now. Also, our personnel is attractive to them. Creative director from Sony, art director from Disney. They know what's up. So this guy had everything. Like, this is 2018. I'm just going to play, I'm going to play a portion of this. Let me see here. Is it? Yeah, let's do this.
Say, all right, well, let me know if Mr. T is interested. Also, if you're able to swing $500,000, I could do the other $245,000. And because it would be paid back by September 17th, I'd be down to do 20% on it by September 17th with penalty of 1% equity per month late. No possible way to be late, by the way. Jason replies, I can't do it until I free up capital. Don't be a pussy and just be real with your mom. I know it stresses you a lot, but honestly, just say blame it on me and say Jason committed to it, but he thought a loan he got for his cannabis deal would be paid back right now. Steven replied, can't risk worrying her. Her health isn't great.
Yo,
don't
what
tell
up,
her I told
Ladywags?
you. I'll try to figure it
How
out.
are ya?
Jason then replies, okay, sorry bro, I'm just tapped. Could you figure out some cash in my safe ways of making this work?
I can only imagine what Star Citizen is doing.
Cannonball, you raise a good point. By the way, guys, let's get some fucking hype in chat for Cannonball. Dude, can I see how long you have been following the channel? That's on YouTube, right? Dude, Cannonball is one of the OGest OG viewers that I think I've ever fucking seen. This guy, I think you've been around since 2014. Fuck me, maybe even longer than that. Shout out to Cannonball. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and say that Star Citizen is doing it, but man, I think, I don't know. I think Star Citizen is very, very open, at the very least transparent with the funds that they're bringing in from the community. Shit, man, I don't know. I don't know. Believe it or not, Star Citizen is a church boy compared to Ashes. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fucking insane. But yeah, this is just wait to see how much money is coming in.
Steven replies, "It's okay. Only reason I am even asking is because of the launch we're about to have, and these opportunities came up last minute. I understand if you're tapped. I just wanted to give you the option if you were able." Even though Jason had repeatedly refused to give Steven any more money, Steven kept insisting that he could ask no one else, even his own mother, for the same amount of money needed to keep Intrepid and Ashes Apocalypse going. To give some context to next messages from Steven, he's talking about the expenses needed to get a booth for TwitchCon to promote Ashes of Creation, a contractual agreement with Team Liquid for them to play and promote Ashes, and a booth or emphasized presence with PAX West potentially.
So they wanted to
If
spawn.
Ashes of Creation could do this, I can only imagine what Star Citizen is doing.
Dude, I have tried to fix this looping thing like 4 different times. I don't know why Streamlabs is just sending that twice. I'm gonna have to do more digging. Anyway, they wanted to sponsor PAX East or PAX West, whichever one, for $125,000. They paid Team Liquid $300,000 to play to play Ashes of Creation during I think it was during TwitchCon. And then they got a booth at TwitchCon for $320,000. This is their business DMs. That's fucking embarrassing. Dude, it's all on the table now. It's all on the table.
What is interesting are the expenses being requested here. $320,000 for a space in TwitchCon, $300,000 for doing business with Team Liquid, $125,000 for a PAX sponsorship. Steven offers to, of course, pay for the lowest expense himself, which is the $125,000 for a PAX sponsorship. What's even more bizarre is Steven randomly calculating the ROIs, or return on investments, for each of the 3 things he's requesting funding for. In terms of gaining eyes or a part of the market's attention, one could argue that he was going for a marketing approach here, but I've also talked to vendors myself who have bought spaces and booth spots at TwitchCons, and quite a few of them have stated that's more of a loss than anything, and it's expense that they take a hit to for marketing. So I don't see how Steven is calculating a 10 to 30 time ROI on a TwitchCon space or even his PAX sponsorship.
This is so nuts, dude.
It is at this
video is
point
insane.
in their personal and business relationships, a schism forms between Steven and Jason. Jason starts off saying, "Yeah, bro."
For those who are just coming in, this video is chronicling from 2014 to 2021 text messages from one of the biggest investors in Ashes of Creation, who is Jason and Steven Sharif. He has all the messages. It's so insane. It makes you wonder how people like this get opportunities like this, and the grinder indie devs get point. This is all about who you know, right? Steven Sharif made his living from MLM companies, right? And so he made connections throughout that industry, which is probably how he got involved with Jason in the first place, right? This is all about who you know, and who you know has deep pockets. That's all it is.
This is not good at all. I think you need to go out and dilute yourself and raise some more money, because this non-payment from iDream Sky will kill us. Steven replies, "I agree. I already sent our advisors an email last night with our earning and sales data and game metrics to reach out to the big boys at EA, Activision, Amazon, Google, and Epic, and some tech funds. He told me he will
this
have
guy
calls
Jason
lined up
invested
this
$80
week
million.
for me.
Yep.
Are there any friends or funds you know that may be interested if we did a quick raise? Loan, equity, convertible, whatever at this point. Mom and I are chatting at 7 p.m. She is with person A right now." Steven continues to say, "This fiasco with Dream Sky has put us in a bad spot. I am discussing long-term investment round with Amazon, Kakao, Epic, and a couple tech funds this week that our advisors advisors and H have lined up, and I'm getting on a call with EA in about 5 minutes. Those, however, would be solutions that are a minimum of 60 to 90 days away. We need a short-term lender or small equity investor in the realm of $2 to $3 million. Any luck on the calls you're making? Anyone you know that can come through? I'll be off calls and meetings at about 6:30 p.m. Jason then says, I am not in a position at the moment, bro, and I need my money back as I lent it to you on an emergency. Now I'm in a fucked position. I apologize, bro, but I am not in a good spot, and I need you to go to your mom or anyone else and get the money as I have obligations. I am seriously so fucking bummed out right now, and God forbid Mr. T finds out, he would lose his fucking mind. An hour and a half later, Jason would text Steven, Steven, are you paying me today? Almost 3 hours later, Jason again says, bro, I need some answers. This is not cool. A couple days after, Steven says, I'm meeting tomorrow at 1 p.m. with the Gap financing group. It's
Bro,
a
they
long
were
shot,
so
but I
fucked.
don't know, man. In a bad spot, Google and Amazon got back, and Anderson Horowitz, a fund up in Menlo Park, all interested in discussing equity opportunities, but that's minimum 3 months to turn around a series round. Payroll is on the 15th. I'm not sure what to do.
Bro, and these guys are just like, I hate to laugh, but these guys are just scrambling to find any sort of money to be able to make payroll. I have to either liquidate crypto or get a loan against it to borrow more money from someone. And I, at the moment, because I gave you $5 million in debt, I also borrowed $5 million against my distributors. They're just fucked. And this was back in 2019. Yeah, this is 2019. Holy
Jason then
fuck.
says, I am not in a good place at the moment and I need to pay my bills too. I am so far deep into your deal and honestly, this is not a good
Redbeard
spot
with a
for
gift
any
and
of
sub
us.
to Lady
If I come up
Wags.
with
Thank you,
anything,
Red.
you can run this
Appreciate ya.
company and build
Lady
it,
Wags,
but
welcome
you
to the
won't
sub
control
club.
it or the board. Be prepared. You have totally fucked up and fucked me. So I apologize. This is no longer Jason, your buddy. This is Jason being serious. I have to either liquidate crypto and or get a loan against it or borrow more money from someone. And I, at the moment, because I gave you $5 million in debt, I also borrowed $5 million against my distributorship on the other deal because I didn't have the money I gave you anyway. It's neither here nor there. I am just as
Man, this is some where the hell is my popcorn shit? Dude, like this is, and like, I will say, I don't know who this Jason guy is. Complete and total dummy. I'm just going to be honest. The fact that he was willing to give so much money just based on like DMs is so strange to me.
even giving you that because I didn't have it extra to give. Please understand, you have put me in a bad spot. Steven then replies, 5 days later, hey brother, I've been working on finding some type of gap funding while we prepare the Series A round. A firm here in San Diego called Mint is helping us by trying to find short-term lenders, but they aren't gonna find one in time. Is there anything you can pull together by Thursday? I know this is a shit situation. I know you're pissed. I'm pissed about the fucking Chinese. But I'm trying to protect both of our investments. Bottom line, if we can survive 90 days, then we can do a round and raise a shit ton of money that I'll give up equity for and secure the company's very profitable and giant future. I'm so sorry we got put into this shitty situation, but I'm not sure what else to do, man. If we don't get a solution this week, we risk everything. Once people don't get a paycheck, the value of the company goes from sky high to zero. Jason then goes on a rant. Bro, you want me to give you more fucking money when I'm already fucked? I'd have to come up with more money to save the company. Seriously, this is so fucked up. You don't deserve.
After a while, you'd think at least you're getting scammed, right? Like, holy fuck.
To keep how much equity you have. This is fucking crap for you to put me in this position so we can do this the friendly way or the hard way. Which one do you suggest? Call Tom A, your other investor, and ask him to borrow some money. You put me in such a bad position, you have no idea. And you're right, I am beyond pissed at you. I can't believe I listened to you about this deal. It's all
crashes
horseshit.
out so
Originally,
hard,
10
dude.
cent was the deal, then I Dream Sky now.
Yeah, he
I
crashes
wouldn't be
out.
asking you to help or find someone to help if that wasn't our last option. I've literally tried everything, and now we're at the last
Bro, hold on. I gotta rewind it a little bit.
wrong as possible, so I waited. This company will be the largest MMO in history, bigger than World of Warcraft's 13 billion. But
My stream deck isn't fucking working today. Hold on 1 second. Bigger than World of Warcraft, he says. Fuck off.
I
Fuck
need 90
off,
days
man.
to do a round. I already tried talking to my mom. She would help if she could. I would
you
be
sure
asking
about that?
you to help
Yeah.
or find someone to help.
So yeah, this video came out, dropped a bombshell. I think Kira also dropped a video afterwards that said that this isn't even, I think he said that this isn't even everything. I like how the music transitions when the tone of the text changes. Oh yeah, he did great. Steven talking like a classic MLM scammer. Yeah.
Show as Steven admits someone he knows has nothing. His mother gave him what she has available, and that Intrepid Studios is still missing $100,000 to make payroll to employees happen. Steven cites the existence of the convertible debt stonewalling him from getting more short-term loans in the past 2 weeks.
But so basically what this is the entire time this was all happening in the back end, Steven is out publicly saying that he's putting his own money in. There's no board. There's nobody to answer to, while he's talking with his investor in the back end about diluting shares and giving up percentages to be able to finance and bring in more capital. He lied the whole time. And this all just proves it.
5 days after the last exchange, Steven may have figured out a way to make that payroll happen, and finally gives good news to Jason. But just like how bad news can't come without the good news at this point, the good news has to come with the bad. Steven says that a new agreement was reached between Intrepid and iDream Sky for funding, and that Intrepid's advisors have started reaching out to more investors and venture capitalist groups. Oh, and that payroll issue? It's actually still not solved because Steven needs another $65,000 to put into the checking account before the payroll checks that were already issued bounce, so employees don't talk and abandon ship. I'm going to pause here for a second and let that soak in for you guys. But could you imagine a $65,000 overdraft? Jason then replies okay to all of this, implying he covered that $65,000, so the employees at Intrepid Studios actually gets paid and survives another week in California. Steven meekly approaches Jason 2 days later, asking if it's fair to be a 30% owner with a seat on the board with voting rights.
Is it fair to be a 30% owner with a seat on the board and voting rights? On the board, remember, Kira did say that a board does exist. Ding, 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 ding. The board, there's the board, the infamous board. I don't want to fight and don't want to see us lose our investments or the last 4 years I've given to make this company. I love you like a brother, and I'm sorry I put us in this spot. Man.
Expresses he does not want to fight with Jason and other investors and love bombs Jason again. He also asks if he would be able to get the ability to buy some of the equity back later. This later leads to a conversation 5 days later where Steven is requesting.
Have you seen the video about the LWs from LWs? What is that?
Another $2,025,000. Jason says, I am not purchasing stock.
But yeah, there's
as soon as
guys, there's so much information in this video. Jason and Steven and his husband paid themselves $500K a year while not paying employees. Yeah, I think that's the thing that OnePeg was saying, is that they on file took $1 million a year payroll. Oh, about the lawsuits from OnePeg. No, I don't think I've seen his video on it yet. It amazed me that this has all been going on long before COVID. Yeah, this is, I mean, it tells me that the company literally has always been like fucked, right? This is 2020 now. I've exhausted everything. I was able to scrounge up another 8K. So we are only 140K short for payroll. 140,000. Like it feels like every 2 weeks they're short like 100K. From the start, it was already over. It was already, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe should have waited to give somebody the Bitcoin until end of the month. So they started to get into crypto.
These text messages for the video.
It's a mess.
Jason was willing to sell his 2011 goddamn Ferrari for $80,000 and a 2010 Rolls motherfucking Royce Ghost for a mere $75,000 to get liquid cash, not just for Steven, because now Jason was starting to financially struggle. He admitted during our first call that it was rough times for him at this point, and for the first time in his life, he actually needed to borrow money from somebody. Jason was frustrated by Steven's constant begging for money, since yet again the developers and employees of Intrepid Studios may not have been paid because Steven is short $140,000. He mentions here at this point, and I add this for context, a Mr. T who was given Bitcoin. Mr. T is an associate of Jason who had invested $1 million into Intrepid but was never paid back or saw a return on his investment.
So not only is Jason getting fucked, this Mr. T, another investor, is getting fucked. Arctic coming through 77 months. Welcome in. Good to see you, brother. I'm excited to play games tonight, man. Yeah. Cannonball says, it feels like they were trying to build a boat underwater and complaining, why are we underwater? Yeah, 100%. It's
Mr.
insane.
T threatened to sue Steven, who feared that a public lawsuit would jeopardize Intrepid Studios and scare away potential customers. So, in order to save Intrepid's reputation, Jason yet again stepped in and gave $1 million after selling Bitcoin to Mr. T, so Mr. T would back off. In yet another crash out, Steven tells Jason the following: "Tried that. They don't know people like you do. Payroll is Wednesday. Not sure what's going to happen if we don't make it. There's nobody you know with Bitcoin or who can give a short-term $150,000 to $200,000 loan until your loan closes." 7 minutes later, Jason loses it. No.
Oh, dude, I hate to laugh. Yeah, dude, do you know anybody with Bitcoin or that can fund a $150,000 to $200,000 short-term loan? Who are these people? No, bro, honestly, you're kind of freaking me out that you're not able to get money at this level. It's kind of to a reality that I don't want to be in your deal. You have no ability to get any money. I might have just lost 2 million, 5 million, 1 million, 1.8 million, 300,000. Do the fucking math, bro. You have literally broken me. Like, that's fucking crazy. I had to ask somebody to pay for dinner tonight for the owners of Junius' birthday because I don't have room on my Amex card because it's blocked. Bro, 10 million so far, and you think I'm made of money? No one in your entire life would do what I've done for you. Oh, dude. And then, but then turns around the next day. I took 110,000 out of my 401k monies, bro. Sent you an email. He still did it. Yeah, cuck Jason.
A 1K account, which is crazy. I think really the only financial advice you should ever take from a YouTuber like me is do not use the money from your retirement account to fund a MMORPG, okay guys? Now I know many of you are bewildered, shocked, or slack-jawed at all this money Jason keeps shoveling into the Ashes of Creation engine. And like all of you, I was immensely curious about why. Why, Jason?
Yeah.
Why would you keep giving Steven money with no ROI in sight? So of course, I asked Jason this, and he basically gave me two answers. First, he really did consider Steven a very good friend and told me he's generally a very nice guy. I thought to myself as he told me this, okay, can we also be best friends, Jason? Of course, just like any other investor, he wanted to see our ROI. He wanted to make money, as simple as that. He really did want an MMO to come out, which is definitely not going to happen now with the now desolate Intrepid Studios. Second, he gave the impression during my conversation with him that after a certain point, he was in too deep with the amount of money he invested into Steven and Ashes to simply just, walk away and leave that money behind. In that aspect of sunken cost fallacy, I think Jason is definitely well suited to be an MMO player like everybody else. Perhaps his biggest regret is pulling in his social circle into this mess as investors, as he expressed to me him feeling bad about that. 12 days later, an abrupt text message from Steven shares that the next big MMO of the century's potential biggest investor is the former owner of
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade.
Finger looking good. I actually don't even know Raising Cane's slogan. Anyway, the former chicken conglomerate is not all the adventurous venture capitalists out there Stephen found.
Motherfuckers going to chicken companies, bro. Ashes of chicken. Our biggest potential investor is the former owners of Raising Cane's Chicken. Their family is flying into San Diego to visit the studio and meet with me. They just sold their 100+ restaurants for $140 million. I had an hour-long dude, $140 million. How much are you going to take from them?
Apparently, he asked his neighbors for a $2 million investment and another 3 random people. He even asked a jeweler he happened to know
I fucking
for
love
investment,
Raising
and the
Cane's. I've never
jeweler
had
agreed
it.
to do a $1 million investment by the end of February. Now, of course, these aren't wholesome, pure angel investors. They also want equity, which means every loan comes in the form of 1-year convertible notes with the right to convert at a 25% discount in the next round, which is an absolutely crazy deal to make.
That is fucking nuts. Oh my God. Where can I find these people? I need a personal. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, let me tell you that we're going to make the next Fortnite, bro. And let's just like make it happen. But yeah, so basically, I want to show you guys more. There's just so much in this video. Everything was a lie. Just like we said it was. They were hemorrhaging and bleeding from the moment they started, which is insane. But essentially, so the number tally right now is 100. I think it's 115 million that investors were put into
On Steven's part, from a founder. Call me back. By the way, congrats on getting money again. Steven says, thanks, brother. I'm stressed beyond belief. Jason then says, I was so stressed out lately. Steven then says, can't sleep past 3:30. Wake up every morning at 3:30 a.m. Get to sleep at 12.
Bro, look at this fucking shit. It's honestly my dream is us sitting on a plane, flying to some island with the family, looking back and laughing. I would be happy with an iced tea sitting at a Denny's at this point. Fuck. Yeah, this is it's insane. I'd be happy with a iced tea at Denny's. I honestly need you to get me the 330-ish you owe me. I thought about it, and honestly, it's the principal issue. You would put me in a bad place.
You need to start to think about cutting staff, as most people in tech will be soon anyway, and you need to think about how you move forward. I'm asking politely for you to get a wire out to person A for the full amount and owed, otherwise I'll be forced to start a process that will hurt both of us. I couldn't afford $300,000 when I did it, and then you took another $1 million. Honestly,
Epstein's
it's
Island?
to the point that
I
you
didn't
gave me
say
your
that.
word, and honestly, this is to the point of no return.
I didn't
Please
say that.
wire my money owed in the email tomorrow. A day later, with no response, Jason then texts Steven, hello? He didn't respond to my email or my text. Steven then finally replies back, hey bro, I'm sorry with the Senate team home today since they closed the schools, and I got sick today as well, so I'm just now getting home and didn't have a chance to reply today yet. This is our current balance, $690,000. That gives us 7 weeks. I cannot send the $330,000 right now. I need you to give me some time to close one of the other investors. I'm working on it, bro. Please don't burn down our company out of principle on this $330,000. We have a lot riding on the success of Intrepid. Not just investments, but the actual returns we'll see when we launch the game. Please give me the next several weeks to close another investor, and I will get the $330,000 to you, brother. 4 minutes later,
Brother.
Jason furiously texts back, honestly, bro, you're fucking me, and this is not cool. But hey, It's okay. I am tired of this company, and honestly, your inability to or lack of being able to close deals with billion-dollar companies, as I was told, is honestly tantamount to fraud, including the supposed deal with Tencent that never happened or existed. If I would ever have known that the Tencent deal didn't close, I would not have loaned you another $5 million. I won't burn down your precious company, but honestly, bro, I am becoming...
And I gotta say, dude, after 6 years of you doing this every time, like, honestly, this fucking Jason guy... It's just like, honestly, bro, you're really just starting to piss me off a little bit, man. Like, can you just send me some of the money that I've given you? Like, you're really starting to fucking just bug me. I really don't. I'm becoming way more mean. And then fucking Steven comes back. He's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. There's really nothing else I can do for you. I'm trying to close another deal. We got payroll on Friday. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, is there a way that you could send me another $200,000? And then Jason comes back and says, oh, okay, I sent it. Like, that was 6 years of that.
More hostile, more angry, more pissed off than you can imagine. My patience is done.
Like,
get the proper financial balance sheets and projection and losses.
I'm really starting to get mad. Here's another $4 million.
Getting me my money you owe me. I should have never given you the full $2 million. Now I am screwed more and in debt.
It's
More
so
than a month
funny.
later, in April 2020, Jason is impervious to Steven's attempts at casting an illusion spell due to his high resistance built by years of Steven's bullshit. Jason states, honestly, bro, I am starting to not have faith in you or trust you at all. If I don't have an email clearly explaining why I can't see bank statements from the moment you took my money up until current, and I can't have access to all books and records, and you're manipulating whatever you want to manipulate without turning them over, then I will start legal maneuver.
Okay. Not only did Jason send him, what, $80 million? You weren't even able to look at the books? What? You weren't even able to look at I can't have access to the bank statements? Who is this guy? Steven, hey Jason, I need 150 to buy pizza for the team. I hate you. Done. Sent you the money. Right. How do you go 6 years giving this guy so much money and you didn't even bother to look into the financials? At the end of the day, you won't have any company to worry about because I'll start proceedings against you. I did you a favor by taking T out of the way. Now you put me in this position. My money is the thing that floated you. And funny, this is bullshit. I don't know, dude. This Jason guy sounds like a dumb fuck, but he's got a bunch of fucking money. I just don't know how you get in that position in the first place. Bro, I'll get you everything you ask for. Bank statements, QuickBooks, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just asking to wait a couple more weeks because I'm trying to get you money. And I don't want this accountant focusing on this project instead of that. I also haven't gone through them all because I've been working 18 hours a day. I'm not trying to hide or fight you at all. Yeah, all right.
Around August 24th, the conversational tone returns to the text messages. Random things like Steven getting messaged by a fan on Discord of them getting an Ashes of Creation tattoo is shared. Jokes start flying again between the two as they both believe they're in the clear. 6 months later, in September 2020, Jason checks in on Steven in regards to the aforementioned loan Intrepid is trying to take out from Commerce West Bank. We do know from public records Intrepid did manage to take out a loan from Commerce West Bank, but as you'll soon see, it was not exactly what they were expecting. 15 days later, on October 6, 2020, Jason starts introducing another multi-millionaire named Robert Dawson to Steven Sharif. Robert was an associate of Jason's from the MLM days at Jeunesse. Robert Dawson would end up investing over $60 million into Intrepid personally, another $20 million.
And this right here is why I don't feel bad about Jason losing his ass. You went, hello, you want to cuddle? Okay, come here, come here. You went 6 years getting fucked by this guy, pissed off beyond belief, and then you bring in somebody else who then invests $60 million into the company. Like, money is not real. Money is not real.
more to his companies and bring in about $10 million from his close friends, making Robert's contributions to about $90 million. Steven again has good news with bad news, reporting that Commerce West offered half of the requested loan amount. Apparently, the $13.4 million got disqualified, Steven says, because it was far above our 2019 gross revenue total. So we are now working to get the final approval on $6 million instead. Still a good loan, but not as high as we were hoping. Jason then replies to this bad news saying, "This sucks. Look, bro, I want to be
Jason
fair to
had a
you
money
and
tree
not
too,
hurt the
right?
company, but you're not being authentic and transparent and allowing me to help make this company work on the financial level, which is bothersome, and I'm trying not to get pissed off, but you promised you would have something to me on November 1st, and now it's not happening for 1 to 2 more weeks, which you don't understand finance and I do. If you don't allow me to help with this company's financial status, I will have to start acting like not a good friendly partner. I need serious, actual accounting records of the company, all bank accounts, all bank statements, all actual file tax returns, and what the actual projections and losses is, not a fake P&L for the Main Street loan you're doing, bro. How can I help this company when you don't allow me to do anything and you block me from everything? It's starting to piss me off and upset me again." Steven's only reply to this is, "Sad face. I'm trying to get us this loan the best way I know how, bro. Sad face." Jason tries to have a sincere heart-to-heart conversation here with Steven, saying, "Okay, bro, but the problem is you keep on doing the same thing, hoping that this happens. Okay, so what are you going to do with $6 million? It's not even close to debts owed. And then, when I bring investors into or around the deal, sophisticated people will want to see all cleared up documents. The issue is I'm trying to help us become successful too, and you're kind of like not hearing me. I'm wanting to help you on managing the company, its financiers, and the ability to raise money and be strategic. Your own short-sightedness."
Okay, who wants to guess? Do you think he sent him more money?
"This isn't allowing this because you keep on hoping this loan for the last 5 months would appear. You're hurting yourself and the company
sent him more
by
money
not
after this?
allowing me into things. And honestly, I have not said boo to you and been very cool for the last 6 months." 8 minutes later, Steven would say, "I am 100% open to you helping in every area with 100% transparency. All I'm saying is let me get the $6 million done without spooking person B so I can get the $2 million done back to you this month. And then I'm even okay with you taking over the bookkeeping if you want, lol. It's not my area of strength, and personally, I don't even like that responsibility." Steven shares an Alpha 1 development update in December, right before the new year of 2021. Along with a Forbes article saying Ashes of Creation is the #1 upcoming MMORPG. The hype train, of course, with Ashes of Creation in 2021 accelerates and grow more powerful for another 4 years. And it's a tragedy in hindsight, as the hype train wouldn't derail due to unmet expectations by a player base, but it would derail simply because there was no more money to complete the railroad. In the beginning of 2021, we see Jason try to step in gently again on the running of the company and inquiring about tax filings. He even brings up a very reasonable point about potentially relocating the studio to avoid the high Californian tax rates and expenses, since it's now proven most companies, including game development companies, can still be effective with remote work during COVID. Jason tells me in my calls with him that Steven could have hired Chinese or Korean developers and put out a game, and with no disrespect intended to the intrepid developers, Jason was simply astounded by the fact that over 200 developers didn't produce something more tangible. With incoming investments and loans, Steven Sharif is able to breathe a little easier at this point, at least until he needs more funding for Intrepid and his dream MMO, which is why we see a much more relaxed discussion of future projects and ideas on Steven's part. Funnily enough, Jason asks, "What is your guesstimate on new projects, given this project, as of January 2021, will cost completion around $30 to $35 million?" Steven replies rather interestingly here, "Depending on the project, board games could cost $2 to $3 million. Real-time strategy games could be $8 to $12 million. Turn-based strategy games could be $8 to $10 million to make. Single-player RPG is $16 to $20 million maybe. Arena games could cost $15 to $18 million in a console port."
So not only are they talking about Ashes of Creation, they're also talking about like turning it into a dynasty company. He called it board games, RTS games, turn-based. Look at all these projects.
Could cost $20 to $25 million. And of course, as we all know the ending of the story, at this point, none of these projects would come to fruition, Ashes of Creation would never really launch, and it would be taken down from the Steam store page. As for the time period between 2021 to 2024, it's very obvious that things just weren't going well. Legacy Trust would...
So essentially, this story with Jason ends in 2021. Hey, dude, if you're busy, no, Crash, I'm streaming for a couple hours. I'm literally jumping off stream, or we're jumping straight into podcast recording. You're good, brother. I'm not going to be here long today. We got a few things going on. But so what we do know is in 2021, that's when they opened up Alpha 1. Remember that? They opened up the Alpha because I bought in 2021. So that's when they opened it up on their website. So that was up until this point, they were hemorrhaging fucking money. They opened it up on the website, and you guys are asking how the fuck did they get through the next 6 years? It's because of that. They started selling the packages, and they probably had so many people jumping in. They played with the FOMO, and they ran with it. Diabolical. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, he's out there publicly saying like, there's no board. It's just me. I'm funding this thing with my own money, blah, blah, blah. It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. And he not only like took money from the community, but he also took millions of dollars from these investors. Now, granted, I don't feel bad about Jason. I mean, brother. I mean, what are we doing?
To Intrepid Studios a few years down the line for a writ of mandate to compel inspection of
filthy.
books. And this was really one of the first things in the public eye back in 2024 that was pushed out of the way of the hype train. It seemed like dissenting opinions, even constructive criticism, was pushed aside by hundreds of thousands of MMO players.
Here's the conclusion.
I think a lot of people will also watch this video to find out not what the hell happened behind the scenes with the investors, the funding, and Stephen Sharif, but also to find out what's going to happen with what remains of Ashes of Creation going forward. Jason's lawyer has contacted Valve to see about the $14 million owed. Commerce West Bank is now getting involved in trying to get its money back.
Karamanis is his last name.
Jason certainly wanted to see a successful MMO out of all this. It's unclear what exactly is going to happen with whatever is left of the Ashes of Creation IP at Intrepid Studios. The line of investors, lenders, and former employees eager to pick apart the pieces of Intrepid's carcass. It's hard to say when we will see the results from those cases. Jason says he doesn't expect to wring out any meaningful amount of money from Stephen Sharif. Instead, he's told me he's going to sue Stephen Sharif out of principle and to make sure it's on public record that Stephen is a bad actor. I have no doubt.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Let's see Steven get sued. That'll be a fun one.
Despite the trove of information Jason was kind enough to share with me and all of you, that will probably unearth even more details about Ashes of Creation, Intrepid Studios, and Steven himself in the coming weeks, months, and years. As for the many players, guilds, and communities still navigating this debacle, I've been seeing a lot of people return to their familiar MMOs or trying new ones or quitting the MMO space entirely. I think what's important now is for a lot of people to come to terms with reality. I know a lot of people invested a lot of time and money into Ashes of Creation, and it's understandable. Many people are still defending Steven or defending the idea of Ashes, but despite the human elements you see in both public and private spaces, whether it's that of generosity, compassion, or whatever.
I just don't understand how Jason genuinely thought he'd even get 5 to 10% of that back. It was so much. Even if it was successful, he wouldn't have gotten shit back. Oh, that's not true. If the numbers, here's the thing, you don't invest in a studio or in a video game with the idea that you're not going to be successful, right? Or else you wouldn't put your money there. So when you take, how many people do you guys, if let's say Ashes of Creation comes out and it does massive numbers, we're talking maybe not World of Warcraft numbers, but let's say they have like 1 million to 5 million players, like every month, like paid members. That's a lot of money coming in. And I think he would have made his money back eventually. But the problem is from what we can gather here, $115 million split between 2 different people. And I actually think it's more than that because Jason put 80 and apparently that Robert Dawson put in 60. A lot of money. And to who said it here? Raul in Twitch chat. Jason's only one guy from 6 years ago. I think Steven took a lot more money than we could ever imagine. Yeah, he might not be the only one in here. And so with that much money on the table, how did we only get like Ashes of Creation? I don't know if you guys played the Steam release. Like it wasn't great. It was actually significantly mediocre. And I'm confused about where that money actually went. Right? Like, I know the people are saying, like, Steven and his husband or whatever took $1 million a year. And that's okay. That's $1 million a year over 10 years. That's 10 million, you know, whatever. Where did the other like $100 million go? Like, I'm just, yeah, I don't get it.
I think it's really important to look at all the available facts and information so far and really, really understand that this was not some sort of surprise out of nowhere. This dissolution was, at least to me, the culmination of years of severe mismanagement, incomprehensible, bizarre business decisions. Best case scenario, Steven was a irresponsible smoothie blend of startup founder, MMO player, and gambler egos who may have been way over in his head. But none of that should excuse the actions or the very obvious lies put out by him to people he called his coworkers or his community. None of that should excuse the obvious foresight he had in regards to where things were going when he's parceling out equity, when he's giving up his own company, when he's not being transparent about the trouble that he or the company is in. You know, I mentioned this multiple times in the other videos, but no one's going to dog on a developer or a gaming studio for not being able to afford things. You know, like, no one ragged on Fantastic Pixel Castle Studios for, you know, being dropped by NetEase as, you know, their publisher and having no funding to pursue their MMO project. It doesn't work like that. So I think there's definitely a strong case to be made for this guy's ego getting in the way. And, you know, we can talk about the worst case scenario, right? Like, he was a con man, like, it was a rug pull from the start. But that doesn't matter either, because the end situation was going to be the same. So I hope this video really clarified some things for people.
Bro, this is fucking crazy. And then I'm going to pull this up as well, guys. So Margaret Crone, who was their like PR community lead or whatever. Yo, I'm Stu. Yo, appreciate the raid, man. Welcome in. Good to see you. Guys, we're talking Ashes of Creation drama today. Massive bombshell got dropped over the weekend, so we're just catching up with everything. I hope your stream was well. Welcome in. If you guys don't know what Ashes of Creation is, guess what? It doesn't really matter because the game just died and there's so much drama behind it, but it's good to see you. Welcome in. So One Peg's new video does have more info on that. Do we want to watch that one today? So I wanted to bring this up as well because this YouTuber, Nephis, who made that great video, tweeted and tagged some people, Asmongold, Zyback, specifically Margaret Crone, who was their community manager. This is crazy. I feel sick. And then she says, I know I should keep quiet because we as staff have a lawsuit in place already, but just so not only is Jason going to be suing Steven, but the employees are now suing the company as well. Just so you know, that guy never reached out to any developers. It's not like it's hard to find some of us, yet he reached out to YouTubers. What the fuck? If they were solely relying on Steam to pay us, why did he say he didn't even know about the decision to go to Steam? Just an easy way to defend why they didn't pay our final paychecks, didn't adhere to the WARN Act, or pay out PTO. Be careful. He's already saying you're friends, but can't remember that you have a fiance and trying to offer his penthouse in Vegas. Yeah, there's a lot of drama. I'm disgusted with everything that happened, and I trust no one. If this stuff is true, I feel awful that I helped spread this information because I believed in Ashes of Creation. So that just tells you that, like, all of this stuff was happening in the back end. Nobody knew a fucking thing about it. So insane, dude. Ashes of Creation died, so Highguard could also die. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Food, parties, trips, wine, and dining other investors. Yeah, it's so insane. All right, let me pull up this One Peg video. When did he drop it? One Peg. Like I said, I was sick over the weekend, so I didn't get a chance to see this one. Let's see. One Peg, where are you? I am subscribed. There's your channel. Here we go. This was the same day.
If I were to want to make a lot of money back in, say, 2010, and I was a piece of shit, what I would probably do would be sell, I don't know, nutritional supplements.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't sell it in a traditional way. What I would do is I would work in a company that allowed me to recruit a couple of salespeople under me. But instead of paying them a salary, I would have them sell themselves. And then I would get a portion of whatever it was that they sold. And then I would tell those people if they wanted to make money, they just needed to recruit a couple of people to sell stuff to. And then that would fund that guy, which would fund me. Right? And since I'm at the top of the pyramid, all those little minions, as it branched out further and further down, I'd make crap tons of cash, right? And then I'd probably do that with my mom. And then between the two of us, because we were both near the top of the pyramid, we'd make like 1.5 million a year. And then I'd take that money and I'd flip that and start doing real estate investing. That would be the plan. And then I would
Legal Mindset made a
Steven
video.
Sheriff.
Oh, really?
And I would love video
Oh,
games.
shit.
And then I would start a company called Intrepid Studios. And then I would work away at that for about 10 years, get completely over my head with about $130 million worth of investor cash. And then realizing that the place was closing in around me, try to take as much of that as I possibly could in as short of an amount of time as I could, probably cook the books, refused to hand over the books when my company eventually got sold via an Article 9 takeover, and disappear. All the while LARPing for like the last, 10 or 15 days worth of my tenure as CEO, but not actually CEO, but pretending to be CEO until I disappeared. Yeah, that's what the latest lawsuit for this game company alleges. Anyway, let's talk about it. So TFE Holdings was a company that was incorporated in Delaware and made a UCC filing, which in essence is a way to say that you owe us stuff because you didn't pay your loan. Now, TFE states that they ended up making a takeover of Intrepid Studios, said that they were taking over and owned the company via an Article 9 sale. So we have invested a ton of money, loaned a ton of money into you. We didn't want
Who the fuck is
shareholdership
TFE?
or ownership of the company. We didn't want controlling shares. We wanted to loan you a bunch of money. We wanted you to make good on your loan payments. You didn't do that, so now we own your company. That's essentially what TFE said. Now, that whole process, we're still looking into to see if it's actually like 100% legit or not. But according to this lawsuit, it sounds like it's legit. Now, this lawsuit was made yesterday in the Clark County, Nevada clerk's office.
So there's another company, TFE, shell company to bust off Intrepid debt. So wait, is TFE the company that is owned by that Karen, what the fuck is her name? The MLM lady?
This was filed and apparently is now in the process of being delivered to Stephen and John Moore, his husband, in Nevada where they live. TFE Holdings says that Stephen Sheriff and John Moore did a whole lot of bad. Oh my God. So Stephen, if you remember, okay, and I'll have Saint throw up images or whatever.
I love
Stephen,
this.
Back on January 31st, wrote a Discord message saying that he didn't agree with actions that the board had been taking.
Yes.
Said that it was unethical and said that he resigned in protest and that a whole bunch of the other management also resigned with him. He also then stated a few days later, when people were trying to get refunds and whatnot, that he'd been saying that refunds were going to be honored. He also said February 2nd or 3rd, somewhere around there, that he would make sure that everything came out in the light once he had ample documentation, and that people were just in essence slagging him for the sake of slagging him. But this lawsuit goes in to say that not only was $130 million worth of money funded to Intrepid Studios in loans or whatever from multiple different sources, and maybe it's in excess of $130 million, which makes it look like that Sheriff and Moore never bothered using any of their own money to begin with, but also goes in to say that Sheriff won't give TFE the books so that they can look into any of the particulars regarding the company's financials, especially leading up into the last month or so of the company switching.
So he did this. He did the same thing to TFE that he did to Jason.
Hands, but also says that he breached his fiduciary duties, not only in not handing over the company records, but also commingling accounts. Meaning that the account of Intrepid employed a lot of people. Okay, Intrepid employed like a couple of hundred devs, something like that. So it was not a small company by any stretch of the imagination. They were, having to make pretty large payrolls every month. What it looks like is Steven was commingling the accounts between 2016 and now, where he was like muddying the waters between the corporate accounts for the money that Intrepid was supposedly housing and using to pay out their people, and then also like mixing them in with his own checking accounts, not only for himself but also for John Moore, his husband, and also writing checks for things that he wasn't like giving reasons as to why he was doing them. In addition to all of that, the Article 9 sale of this company happened at the beginning of January, happened at the beginning of 2026, not at the end when they send out WARN Act notices, which, by the way, were supposed to be sent out 60 days in advance and didn't get sent out 60 days in advance. They got it sent out like a day in advance, and then said that the whole company was shutting down effective like then. Because they couldn't pay payroll. They had no money left to pay payroll. And the reason why they didn't have any money left to pay payroll is because, according to this lawsuit, Sheriff received a notice from Steam on the 18th of January that provided Intrepid secured creditor would be taking the $3.5 million receivable, meaning that TFE Holdings had said to Steam, hey, Steam, they aren't paying us, and we have claim on this company now. We took control of this company at the beginning of the year. That money's ours, and Steam went, oh, okay, and then told Sheriff, we're not giving you that money. You won't be able to use that money to be able to pay your people. We're going to give it to those guys because those guys own you now. And then this says the next day, on the 19th, he resigned. January 19th, he had resigned as CEO of the company. So even though TFE Holdings had taken the company over, and basically what it looked like is TFE said, okay, we own you now. We're going to take over. We're going to run things because clearly this has not been managed well. Yeah. And we're going to try to make sure that whatever is left can still continue somehow. Steven went, nah, and watched it burn. Like, it looks like he purposefully watched it burn. He LARPed as CEO from the 19th when he resigned through to not only the 31st, but also after that into the early days of February, because we have blog posts on the 29th talking about how they were working on fixing all the complaints and stuff and working on RMT. We have claims from other people that are saying that he was actively participating in RMT as the CEO, providing materials to RMTers so that he himself could end up monetarily benefiting from it. We also have misappropriation claims saying that he was making or had paid himself between 2016 and 2026 somewhere between $10 and $20 million of the $130 million raised by Sheriff for the development of Ashes of Creation.
By the way, there's going to be a lawsuit by Commerce Bank at some point in time for fraud against Steven too, because he lied about the revenues of the company. There were no revenues. He took all the loans and booked them on his federal tax return as basically as income. That's a fucking federal crime, you fucking dumb fuck.
Do you have to...
Oh, dude. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Good Lord, dude. What a mess.
Records for that? Where you...
100%.
Okay. Definitely... We're definitely have to talk later.
Holy fuck.
And go through these files too, I guess.
I'll subpoena Commerce Bank to get them because you had to turn over financials to Commerce Bank. Never turned them over to me, okay? Where he told me at one point that, oh yeah, I had to book those as revenue to the company. I said, Steven, you fucking, that's illegal. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. I know, but I needed the money.
$130 million. They then go on to get more specific to say that he loaned himself $362,000, where he had marked it as a loan from Intrepid to Steven or himself, and then has another earmarked note where he marked $6.7 million that were loaned from Intrepid to his husband, which Moore was the person that had control of those books. So it looks like Moore actually wrote the loan to himself, and they go on to say, we can't see the books though, so it's likely that Moore could have written himself even more loaned out cash that we are unaware of, but we don't know, because they won't give us access to any of this stuff. we can't see what we own because they won't let us. They then go on to say that Sheriff cut himself checks or a check for $4.864 million for no reason. They have no documentation. They don't know if it's a loan, a bonus, salary, fee, reimbursement, shareholder distribution, or gift. There's no mark on there whatsoever. This is where the commingling thing comes in, where he basically just wrote himself a check out of the company without a note. Like, there's no record, nothing. There's just the transaction with no reason given. But they went and looked and said they believe that the reason why is because he bought a piece of property in San Diego, California for some amount of money and then flipped it and sold that piece of property for $8.5 million, but didn't repay Intrepid for the loan and retain the profits of the sale of the property for himself. They then go on to say from there, as if that isn't bad enough, he also made certain unauthorized transfers to his husband totaling $5.954 million with no documentation as to why or why not. There's just some amount of money that got sent to his husband. And in doing so, they say that Moore failed to dispute the total amount of money that was owed for this transfer that should have been paid back to Intrepid. And he's aware that Sheriff sold the piece of property for $8.5 million. So, yeah. We have a CEO that was pretending to be CEO for the last 10 or 15 days of time that he was actually saying that he was CEO, but wasn't.
Man, we all just wanted to play an MMO, huh? Yeah. Man, we just wanted an MMO.
CEO, and we have a 10-year track record of horrible financial mismanagement, and it looks like to where they were sending themselves money and bonusing themselves out without any sense in doing so, instead of focusing on making the game that they swore up and down that they were making for everyone. So to everyone that had been looking at this game and saying that game's a scam, you were absolutely right. 100% right. And anybody that had been making YouTube videos from years ago that said that this game was a scam, you were absolutely right. Now, this is just one of the many creditors. There's another $850,000 that's owed to a cloud computing company for unpaid fees. There was a judgment to Aetna Insurance that they had been seeking for unpaid group insurance benefits premiums for people just to have group health insurance. That was like $90,000, but they only got awarded like $9,000 or something because the judge gave Intrepid Studios relief, whatever reason. Then there's like just tons of other money. There's another YouTube video floating around right now of somebody that came out as a private investor saying that they had been sending AoC just like absurd amounts of money, millions and millions of dollars, that talked to another YouTuber about this exact thing. But this is crazy. I'm personally shocked. If I had, honestly, I never would have even played the game if I knew that Sheriff's originating, like his roots were from an MLM company. I don't know of many people that got like heavily rooted in MLM up near the top that actually ended up being like halfway.
Let me put another nickel into the big Frappers right again jar. Well, so okay, this is where I'm a little bit confused, and I'm just gonna say it. What are we waiting on information from Kira for? Because Kira's first video, after I put out my video talking about these guys stole millions of dollars, clearly, right? And then he dropped a video. I don't want to say he was defending them, but it was let's just wait before we call it a scam. Let's just wait before, because like he used words like defamation. I'm confused because now more and more information's coming out that actually makes it look like it was a lot worse. If you think about how pissed off I was in my video that Steve, and at that point we had none of this info, and I was calling it a scam then. But I'm curious what information Kira has now, because he has a source that I don't think is anything to do with this. Who's his source, and what does that source know differently than what's now coming out in public? This is what I'm confused about. His source doesn't know much. I don't know. but his last video was just a reaction to Neff's video, and he didn't add anything. I'm kind of confused because to me, just kind of outside looking in, it feels like there's even more information coming out. But I did think it was curious. You know, I've watched Kira for a long time. From the Earth 2 days through the day before. And Kira has never shied away from calling something a fucking scam. But on this one, it's...
Okay, what up, friendos? Welcome back. And it's...
Yeah, I haven't seen this video yet. This one's a little different. Or I would say he's treating it a little bit different. But, I mean, dude, this kind of information is fucking nuts.
It's the day, right? It's D-Day. It's the nukes have all been dropping. And there's going to be more nukes every day from now for probably weeks. Because the Ashes of Creation situation is heating up. And there's a lot of stuff we can now talk about. As well as stuff that is come out in lawsuits and stuff that's going to be coming out in lawsuits. It's fucking nuts. So remember when I said this is the craziest story in video game history that I've ever seen? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because even all the crazy shit that's just been said on Nefis's live stream and in the video where he's talking to Jason Karamanis, like, this is only part of it. And
so what the fuck else could there be? What else? What else could be even crazier than what we've seen so far?
There's going to be more coming, so you're in for a real treat if you're interested in drama. Because obviously, if you're interested in Ashes of Creation, the game doesn't exist anymore and likely never will. So all you've got left at the end of every Kickstarter, you know, like when you see a rainbow and you're like, oh, is there a pot of gold at the end? Well, for every Kickstarter MMO, at the end, there's just years worth of drama and fuck.
I wonder if he wasn't worried Steven was being super litigious. Steven does seem like the kind of guy that would sue you. Just that narc clip. Okay, you're done crawling all over me. You're good. That narc clip where he talks about how people are defamatory. Are you just gonna sit up here like a parrot? Look at this fucking cat, dude. Hold on, my stream deck's not working for some reason. Look at this fucking kitty. What are you doing up there? You're just a little parrot? You're just relaxing? You feeling good? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Get comfortable. All right, chat. We're sitting like this for a while. All right.
And stuff
this
to watch
is Little
that has
Raven.
Nothing to do with the actual video game and everything to do with questions like, did he steal money? Who did he steal money from? How much money did he steal? These are all questions that you get at the end of the fucking Kickstarter MMO Rainbow. So basically, the news here from Nefis's channel is that Jason Karamanis was involved in the initial funding as a creditor, I believe is the technical term, for Ashes of Creation all the way back in like 2015, 2017, something like that, which obviously was at the very beginning of the inception
I'm not gonna watch this video. This is just it looks like a simple reaction to that. But okay, you're going over there. All right, get up over there so I can use this arm. All right, so apparently more stuff is coming out. But yeah, I didn't want to spend this much time on AoC. Okay, where are you going? But more stuff is coming out. Legal Mindset apparently dropped a video 6 hours ago. Here you go. So shit's blowing
Today we're
up.
talking about the Ashes of Creation absolute gaming scandal and the legal nightmare that's come of it, and one of the biggest disasters in gaming history.
I love that. Just as much as things change, they always just seem to stay the same. But yeah, that's the latest on Ashes of Creation. I wanted to keep you guys up to date. There are a couple things I want to talk about here before we go today. I do have to get out of here at the top of the hour. So we're gonna shift gears just a little bit. I want to talk about what we saw over the weekend. I know, yeah. Oh, I know. You're such a cutie. Kate, don't step on my keyboard though. Thank you. Okay, I'm putting you down. You're going over there, and you're just gonna jump right back up anyway. My God. So guys, I know a lot of you probably don't care, but I'm talking about it anyway. Did anybody watch the 6 Invitational this weekend? Shout out FaZe for winning the 6 Invitational. We got a new operator coming to Rainbow Six Siege. Who won? FaZe won. It was a great fucking series, too.
In position.
Also for my OG Rainbow Six Vegas fans, you guys see the name in the background? We also got a new map announcement coming in Season 2. Calypso Casino, baby! Secret was so close to winning. Yeah, it was such a great series. Yeah. The June kid on Secret played. Oh, dude, that kid was fucking cracked.
Kept me waiting, huh?
Hell yeah! The testosterone.
Things slow.
It sounds like Snake. It is David Hayter voicing Snake in this. Yeah.
Soldiers like us never get the chance. There's always one more fight.
Super cool. Let's talk about year 11. Here is the Operation Silent Hunt.
Hold on.
Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. Never mind. Let me go to... Here's the year 11 cinematic. I only dropped Siege since I'm not that big into PvP, but it was fun times. Dude,
put Phobos down.
So Siege X came out, and I was having a fucking blast playing with the boys. We were playing like every day. And then I took some time off of stream and really just everything because I needed to work on transients at the time. I think I took did I take all of June off or all of July? I think it was all of June, or maybe it was July, one of the two. And then when I came back, everybody had stopped playing. And so we just never really went back to it, but I was having a blast back then. And then the cheater situation, all that bullshit, so.
Team 2, respond.
Yeah, all of July.
We've got rats. Secure the ship.
Boom. So we're on Siege tonight, hey? Yeah, we're also doing Pico Park. We're gonna do a little group play and then jump into some art. I'm playing R6 tonight, and I also want to play a little bit of WoW as well.
I'm gonna enjoy killing you.
Wish the game looked like this. Yeah, no shit. No, and that's what I mean. Like, the cinematics go so hard.
Over, Phobos.
But then the game doesn't look like it, right?
Mission accomplished, Delta Team. Rainbow may be closing.
On stream? I'm not
no
streaming tonight, but that's what I'm doing, yeah.
We stopped the Carries Legion. What comes next is out of our hands.
Has anyone checked out Rogue Point? I want to. I've just been super deep into fucking WoW Classic.
Global safety concerns continue to rise following a recent string of...
So what we know, Rainbow shut down.
Terrorist attacks on central intelligence facilities.
In the current lore.
So far, no government agency
but check this.
able to provide a...
Check this, y'all.
Bad if you're calling me.
Allie's already on its way. We need you, Bishop.
Bishop. So, We're not only getting Calypso Casino as one of the new maps. I wish they had like do they have just a solid breakdown of the year of Rainbow Six? Year 11 cinematic. That's they don't actually have it. Let me pull it up here, guys. So this is huge right here, guys. Oh my God, I have been waiting for this.
That you've been asking for a simpler and better ranked experience.
Let's go.
So we're building Ranked 3.0.
I don't understand why we just didn't have this all the time. Your skill is your rank. Who would have thought? We got placement matches coming back as well. Rank 2.0 was ass.
No hidden MMR, no confusing systems, just pure skill and progression.
Yeah. Exactly, Crash.
In the new Ranked 3.0, your skill is your rank. And what you see is exactly the rank you play at, and matchmaking will adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Placement matches are coming back, meaning your client starts improving yourself at the start of each season.
I get it. I'm excited. The cheering, it's like, bro, we're being given the stuff that we had before. It wasn't always based on skill. No, Flo. So how Ranked 2.0 worked, when we were playing last year, Heavy, this is how it worked. I went back in like season 1, way back in the day. I think the highest rank I've had, what was the one past gold? Whatever the one with past gold, right? But let's say you're an Emerald 1 player, okay? And then you play with the boys, and you go away for a while, and then you come back. Diamond, I think Diamond. Yeah, so I was in Diamond rank or Platinum, whatever it was, a long time ago. That takes into account if I'm a fucking silver ranked player now. It takes into account the fact that I was there at one point. So there's a hidden MMR, even though I have a silver or a gold rank. It's also taking into account my highest ranks from before and where I played at. So it's like, if you're a gold 3, you might not actually be a gold 3. You might be something else. And so what would happen is it would try to pair you against, golds and whatever. And sometimes you would get guys that are golds, but they're just fucking insane players because they're just coming back to the game or whatever. There was a lot of hidden like MMR and skill inside the ranks. And now it's just like you do your placement matches and like what you see is what you fucking get, which is how it used to be. They made the change quite a few years ago, and it was always dog shit.
We know that
if your hidden MMR was high, you'd start out as copper playing against diamonds and champs. Yeah, it made no sense. I like the placement matches as well. I never understood everybody starts out in copper and then you climb your way out of there. It just makes no fucking sense. But yeah, so new operator. Where's the roadmap? Here's the roadmap. So this is coming starting, I believe, March 3rd. Yeah, March 3rd. We get the new operator. There's a new in-game event called Redacted. There's a new 1v1 arcade mode, new modernized maps, new guns, major balancing updates. So ranked map rotations, regular balance updates, dual front is being removed, which is good. I will say this one isn't great. Can I be real? I don't think that, cool new operator. That's fun. This one ain't great. That being said, and I don't know if we'll be able to see. Here we go. This is the big one. Ranked 3. Can I zoom in? No. Ranked 3.0 is coming in season 2. We're getting a new map in season 2, Calypso Casino. New weapon. We're also getting the Dokkaebi rework. Finally. George, by the way, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, so season 1, I'm excited to go back and play it. But that's not going to be... I'm way more looking forward to Ranked 3.0. So season 2 is going to be the major one. mouse and keyboard support on consoles, esports tabs, rotating trial, 3 more modernized maps. And then we get a new Defender coming in Season 3. The new Defender looks like they are a counter shield op. It looks like you shoot an explosive device that plants into a shield, breaches through, and then explodes and blows up the player on the other side. So you get a defensive op that can counter shields. Finally. Great. Beautiful. Awesome. 3v3 arcade, Legend Division playlist, which I believe is the solo playlist. 3 more modernized maps. So we're getting a new map here. We're getting a Dokkaebi remaster, which the Dokkaebi remaster is sick. She has to be way more, it's not like a wide band that fucks over everybody. You have to be way more strategic with who you target as Dokkaebi, which is nice. That's good. And then we get a new weapon. Hostage competitive rework is what I'm actually really looking forward to as well, but that's not going to be for a year from now. And then they're also advertising things like half reinforcements. So you don't reinforce a full up to the roof. You can do half, which will be cool. New operator every season is fire. Yeah, and so, oh, you're back. You want more cuddles. And then so what's happening starting in year 12, so next year, 4 new operators, a new operator every season. Which, if I can be real, I don't really care about it. Yeah, this is happening next year. This is a year away. I don't care about this. I don't think Rainbow Six Siege needs more operators every season. I'm somebody that likes more maps. We've been talking a lot about Battlefield. I just dropped a Battlefield video today, by the way. I want more maps. That to me is where the content is. New operators, it just becomes a balancing fucking nightmare. And if their pass is anything to go by, the balancing that Rainbow Six does usually takes forever. So I'm not like, it's not that like whatever, cool, new operators, stuff to look forward to, awesome, but I want to see more fucking maps, dude. Playing the same fucking maps over and over is just dog water. Calypso Casino, I don't know if we have any screenshots of it or anything here, but I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. That was obviously like when you played Rainbow Six Vegas, that was the fucking map. The copper and up grind was dumb. Now at least it works exactly like every other comp game, right? Like, welcome to it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping back into Siege. We've been playing a lot of Deadlock. I'm getting a little bit Deadlock fatigued. I still want to keep playing it, but I just needed a little bit of a break. We've been playing World of Warcraft. That's been fun. But yeah, I love how the official Rainbow Six X account has pronouns on it. That's wild. Rainbow Six Siege. I'm going to follow you guys again. To be honest, I want a new Rainbow Six game if possible. I don't know if, I mean, we might see one eventually. I guess the question is, so if you're Ubisoft, what do you do? If you're going to make a new Rainbow Six game, if you're tasked with a new R6, what does that look like? Are you going to go the Siege route? Are we going to do PvP or are we going to do PvE? It's a company referring to multiple people as they, them, makes sense. I mean, sure, but like, you know, whatever. I would take DLC map packs over macro transactions, just play more WoW. I've been enjoying World of Warcraft a lot. I literally grabbed a table. So when I'm done here at night and I'm going up to bed, we're just going to throw something on the TV. I've just been playing Animal Crossing and World of Warcraft, like, in bed. It's been super nice. I think it'd be smart to do multiverses for Rainbow, push TV series, push for an expansion. Yeah, I don't know what like, for me, I think I would want a new PvE Rainbow Six experience, but I think they could pull it off. Like, if it was actually narrative driven with the characters from Rainbow Six, I think that could be cool. Let me add you on WoW. What server are you on, Soapy? Just join our guild. Just join our guild. It's sat. What are you doing over there? This fucking cat. What are you knocking over? Just a little shit, man. If you don't give me all the attention all day, Dad. I suck at Deadlock, but I do like playing with the lady in the mini. McGinnis. Yeah. Modern day development is so messed up. We have to play 20-year-old MMO again. I will say, though, bro, modern day MMO. Like, World of Warcraft is still there. What are you crying about? Raven, get over here. Get over here. Come here. I'll give you pets. Jesus Christ. You keep putting me down, Dad, so I'm going to go knock over all your shit. I don't know the guild name. It's called FTC Compliant. Soapy, just DM me in Discord, and then we'll connect when we're both online, and I'll just get you in the guild. Then when the series push a new single-player game for modern audiences, right, that's where they'll go for sure. I think they'll keep milking Rainbow Six for another decade. It's just like Overwatch or Counter-Strike. They'll just keep updating it. Is that a bad thing? Let me ask you guys this, because I know there's a lot of people that think that that's a bad thing. I like it. I like that we're not on the Call of Duty train where you have to buy a new game every year or else you feel like you're left behind, right? I like that they can continually update it. I think the problem is you go through these periods where the updates that you're bringing hurt the game for the worse, right? And then it leads to things like Operation Health, or in my opinion, what Year 11 sounds like to me is, and they use this word a lot during their presentation, is them going back to their roots. So ranked is changing to be way more simple, but in my opinion, more competitive. Calypso Casino, it looks like they're reaching to bring Bishop back. So they're reaching back into their old bag, taking some stuff from there. And then it reminds me of like an Operation Health. Like we're trying to get things back to normal. And then after this year, we're going to start focusing on doing all of the operators and stuff like that. If people are willing to keep playing and supporting it, why stop? No, there's a lot of people that think that a game like Rainbow Six Siege should stop and they should make a new one. And I will say, my eyes have been opened, and I keep shouting out the video from Josh Strife Hayes about MMOs, but it actually fits in a game like this too. I think that the people who want Rainbow Six Siege to stop and then make a sequel or a new one are the people that want to just be there on the ground floor with the community at minute one. And so everybody's going in fresh, and that's very appealing to a lot of people, and myself included. I'd be so psyched if Rainbow Six did a sequel and everybody jumps in at moment one and we're all there as a community, and then we're all starting on the same foot. I think that's where a lot of those people come from, is they feel like Rainbow Six has been around for so long that it's so daunting to get into now because everybody has found their groups. They're playing with their friends. I would love Rainbow Six to get more into clans, clan wars, and being able to set up teams. I know they started to do that last year with the esports stuff. That's how I feel. Yeah. So I think a lot of those people just feel disenfranchised from Rainbow Six, and they want to start fresh with everybody else so that they don't feel like they're at a disadvantage. But honestly, man, I remember jumping into Counter-Strike Source for the first time, dude. I was a kid. I got my ass kicked for like a month straight until I figured it out, and that was like my first PC experience too. So like coming from a controller, it was a whole different animal. And you just got your ass kicked until you didn't. I know it's frustrating now to do that, but that's the shit. That's the shit you live for. Lonely with a gifted sub to Task Blue. Guys, I was going to stream Wraithops today, but I just don't have enough time. I got too much stuff to do today. So I'm probably going to be wrapping up stream here soon so I can go get ready for the podcast. The COD Mobile Clan app stuff was great. I love Clan Wars. If there was ever a time that Resurgent would do like a PvP shooter, Clan Wars would be something I would invest heavily into. Lonely, thank you for the gifted sub. Task Blue, welcome into the sub club. Twitch, you guys went fucking crazy today. I appreciate you guys. I don't think Rainbow Six Siege should stop. This is from Adam Schaefer. I just want to go back to a single player or PvE experience with a story mode for Rainbow Six. No, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. Here's where I'm at. I want that too, but I don't think Rainbow Six Siege should stop. I think there's a big difference. I would love that as well, and I would play it. I ain't gonna lie, Classic has our group by the nuts. It's so much fun, dude. I was playing last night, getting some quests done in bed. It's so dope, just playing on the laptop, chilling. I think the game holds up. In a perfect world, they'd be able to stop smurfing, so it's a similar game. So new players could just learn together and everyone plays in their skill level, but the smurfs break it. Yeah, especially now that it's free to play. Yep. Do you think Crimson Desert is too good to be true? I think it looks really good. I don't think it's too good to be true. I think Crimson Desert is going to be one of those games that is up there with The Witcher in terms of I don't want to call it high fantasy, but in terms of the polish and the quality and the world, I think Crimson Desert's going to be really fucking good. I hope. Definitely playing tonight. Hope I can join y'all soon. Yeah, Flo. I mean, Flo, here's the thing, too. I know you're level 13. If there's ever a time where you need help with questing, like, I'm sure all the guys would be willing to get in there and give you a hand. I don't think it's beneficial for, like, multiple people to give you a hand at once because it fucks your XP gain. But, dude, yeah, we're definitely, like, we're a guild, baby. Let's get it going. I have 5 quests for Dead Mines that are taking up fucking space in my quest log. So we need to run Dead Mines soon because I want to get all those done. Just bang the shit out. But yeah, guys, Rainbow Six Siege coming back. Feeling good about it. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk about Ashes. I wanted to talk about Rainbow Six. And then I wanted to play Wraith Ops. I'll probably end up doing that on Wednesday's show. And it's just simply because we have a prior engagement. I need to make a tank in WoW. Might after I hit 30. Blackout's our tank, but then I end up being the tank because Blackout just ends up healing me. Shroud was talking about how mentally ill all the WoW players are for playing for 20 years straight. Too funny how goated WoW is. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Dude, Shroud's mentally ill for thinking that Spectre Divide was going to fucking make a dent in the multiplayer space. So, to each their own, I guess, I don't think Shroud should be talking about games lasting 20 years. All right, let's be fucking real. Just being honest. But that's just me. Guys, I'm out for the day. I'm going to go get ready for this stream or for this podcast. Again, if you guys are supporting on Patreon, you guys get early access starting on Wednesday. He was calling himself mentally ill for liking it that long. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. W stream, guys. I appreciate you. Hey, leave a like on the stream if you guys enjoyed it. If you're over on YouTube, leave a comment underneath. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Ashes of Creation, Rainbow Six, and everything in between. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on Wednesday for another show. And we're probably going to end up playing some games on that one because I want to try this Wraith Ops play test. Last time I played it, I hated it. And I'm hoping that it gets better. Is your podcast only for paid people? No, we release it every other Friday on YouTube for everybody to see. Patreon people just get it a little early. But no, it's available for everybody every other week. We just actually, you know what? Hey, I'm coming back for a second. We just released a podcast with Dean Hall. And it's available everywhere. Yeah, you guys can watch it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, everywhere. We just dropped an interview with Dean Hall last week. Go watch it. Just got here till Wednesday. Astro, good to see you, bro. I'm sorry. It's got to be a short show today because I like I said, we got to go record. But I appreciate you guys coming through. All right, now I'm gone. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye, chat. Love you guys. Bye.